It's part 11 of this series where I clean through all the weird dead animal projects in my freezer, and you learn something new, possibly. There's a lot left. Now that we're in the double digits, I'm starting to find some very old stuff that I am remembering why I put it off for so long. One part about being low waste and trying to utilize every single part of the animal is sometimes I get weird stuff I don't really want that much. These are all legs from roosters that I processed for meat. I've actually never worked with chicken feet before, and I knew there'd be a point in this series where I got to a couple of fails, you could say, and that's just part of working with something brand new to you. It's trial and error. We don't want to ruin anything beyond use, but sometimes you just don't quite know exactly how things are going to turn out. I had a couple of those for this project. I think these are so freaky looking. They're very like dinosaur, dragon to me, even though they're just from a normal American chicken. These are all cull roosters, so these are all coming from male chickens. They're large. Some of them have these cool spurs, and they come in a bunch of different colors. I thought these two were especially beautiful to look at. I'd love to preserve these and for someone to get some use out of these, even if it is just decor or, I don't know. They start off pretty similar to everything else that I work with. I have to thaw it out. I wash it in water. I degrease it with regular dish soap. Very accessible process. Once they're thawed out, you can see they have these tendons still inside that enable them to move. And I was sort of experimenting with what kind of shape I want to preserve them in. Since I have so many, I have some options. I want to prop one up like that to be tall, to make like the legs of a table or on a lamp. I don't really know what I'm going to use these for, but I want to try to make it hold that shape, even though that seems difficult. I'm going to soak them in alcohol, really similar to how I make things like a rabbit's foot or a preserved tail, those type things. But I also separated a batch of the larger ones to try to get the leather of the skin off. I think I ended up boiling them a little too long. It's just skin, so if you boil it, it gets hurt, just like normal skin does. But I wanted to be able to peel these. I know you can cook feet and make broth. I get that. Look, I have dozens of chickens. I have enough chicken broth. I wanted to do something different with these. After blanching them, so boiling them and then putting them directly into ice water, it was easy to peel the skin off. Sometimes this happened. Like I said, I think I damaged the skin pretty good. But supposedly, this little square of leather I should be able to tan. I ended up cutting off the toes of the ones I wasn't going to use as a full foot. So I have these creepy little claws now. And by the end, after a lot of practice, I was able to pull larger pieces of this chicken leather off, which I dry will just become a rawhide, which would be edible to something like a dog or a cat. That would be fine. But I am going to work hard on those. After I'd peeled them, I took the meat off and I cleaned the bones of these so that I could use them for a larger bone project, much larger than something like a rabbit bone, Then the feet went into a borax solution with the fingers that I had chopped off for me to dehydrate. Creepy little dragon claw situation. I listed those for sale online. I haven't quite figured out if those will be for maybe jewelry, a pair of earrings. Maybe I could do a neat little necklace with the nails like that. But they're solid, they're dehydrated, they're essentially mummified at this point. The whole claws that were small enough, I wrapped a ball of aluminum foil and I stuffed it in like the palm so it would dry in this frozen sort of claw shape. And then I got creative with some tension to dehydrate this one to be that tall, flat shape I was looking for. It worked. It does stand up on its own. Eventually, when I got it all the way dry, it did. We'll see what becomes of that project in future. I haven't yet tanned the boiled pieces, but the little bones from the toes are adorable. You know about chicken fingers, but did you know about chicken toes? This was a fun project, and I learned a lot. My next batch of feet, I know exactly what to do. Stay tuned.